Good morning. We are having an unexpected park day today because we got so much done at Magic Kingdom yesterday and stayed for the Boo Bash. We didn't feel like we needed to do another day at Magic Kingdom, so we turned it into a Universal day. We weren't going to go to Universal at all on this trip, but we decided to turn a portion of it into a Universal day. So we'll be here today during the day and early afternoon, head off to Epcot tonight. So come and join us on our unexpected park, our Universal Park Day today. There are two parks to Universal, Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. We're starting today in Islands of Adventure. Both parks have a Harry Potter area. Islands of Adventure has Hogwarts and Hogsmeade, and Universal Studios Florida has Diagon Alley. And there is a transportation between them, the Hogwarts Express, of course, which takes you to London, from London to Hogwarts and back. And you can only ride that if you have a park hopper pass, or multi-park pass, I think it's called here, or if you have an annual pass or something that comes with multi-park hopping. To get to the Harry Potter areas, or at least the area in Islands of Adventure, first you have to go to the right when you get in, and then you go through Seuss's Landing, which is why you see all this stuff flurbing and fluffing behind me. And then we have to move through the Lost Continent, which has an awesome ride, or actually attraction, show kind of thing, called Poseidon's Fury, which is not running right now. We're very sad about that. Look it up. You will not regret it. It's much more fun in person.
Well, you might regret it.
Well, you might regret it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Josh says you might regret it, but you still enjoy it.
That's how I feel about it. I love it.
Because it is all kinds of cheese.
Yes.
It is 6 kinds of cheese. So we go through the Lost Continent, which my understanding is they wanted to repurpose for the Harry Potter area.
Nope.
And J.K. Rowling was like, nope, you are building something completely new for Harry Potter. And that was a great decision, because repurposed stuff probably would not have been nearly as good as what ultimately they created. And once you get through those other 2 lands, I guess you also have to get through the port of entry, so there's that. But you get into Hogsmeade, where they have snowy capped buildings. I wish it was as cold as that snow would suggest. It's pretty warm today right now. 81 degrees, actually it's not that bad. It's only gonna be in the high 80s, but it's very warm as it is. First ride of the day is going to be Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. This is an awesome ride. One thing about Universal vlogs versus the Disney ones I do is Disney is a lot cooler about letting you have your phone on rides. Not every ride, but some rides. Like you can have it on Big Thunder, for example, and film the whole thing. But they do not let you, on most of the rides here, have your phone. So I won't be able to show you ride photos. But I get some of the ride if I can, as it goes by. As part of the queue, you go by Hagrid's, I don't know, storage shed? Is this his hut? I think it's his hut. But then we go inside his hut. I'm not sure what we're seeing here. It's nice to have something to look at during the theme, or while you're waiting in line. Some theming is always nice.
Attention students, this is just a reminder that
Once you get to the main queue, you come to this stonework. Looks like ruins of some kind. And they have some murals on the wall. And oh, you walk into some air conditioning, and this is wonderful. Still more queue, but inside now. I love that this queue seems like old forgotten sheds. Like, you know, there's a whole bunch of cauldrons stacked there and pots over here. And there's an old window where a tree has broken in and birds have built nests up there. You can hear birds tweeting, but I'm sure it's all pumped in sound. I'll just say it. That's a great ride. It really is. It's a part roller coaster, very small part dark ride. And there are some twists and turns. It is a roller coaster after all. And some surprises. Don't want to tell you what happens on it because I'd rather if you experience it for yourself, you experience the surprises yourself. But absolutely a must do if you come to Islands of Adventure. Well, since this might be the last time we go to Universal for a while, because we're not going to re-up our annual pass, we got butterbeer, one for each of us. Usually we split it, but you know, it deserved our own. It's delicious. It's amazing. Arguably, it's worth the cost of admission alone. It's probably not true, but it is really good. We like the frozen variety the best. But they also have like a regular variety, not frozen, just kind of like a drink. And during the colder months, they have a hot one. We've tried all of them. Frozen is our favorite. Absolutely. And honestly, it's big enough and sweet enough to split if you wanted to. I am very excited because I have not been able to ride the Harry Potter Hogwarts ride in a while because I put on too much weight and wouldn't fit in the seats. It's one thing about Disney versus Universal. Universal has some seats that you may not fit into if you're a larger guy. Well, anyway, I've been working on it for the cruise and for our trip next year, just trying to eat better, take runs every morning, and it paid off. I sat in the tester seat and it worked. And that is super awesome and exciting, and now we get to ride the Hogwarts ride together. Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey is the name of it. Josh is coming through the queue with me, and he's gonna decide if he's gonna ride it or not. In the past, he's ridden it a couple times and he's kind of gotten ill on it. And we didn't suspect to be here, so we don't have the Dramamine or anything like that. So he will make his decision then. I'll let you know how it goes. Again, I'm not gonna be able to video any of this, but this ride is really cool because you're on like, you know, like if you've seen a image of a car manufacturing plant and they have those big robot arms that move and do stuff. Well, these are seats on the end of one of those arms so they can turn in so many different directions. And I can see how people who are sensitive to that could have trouble on this ride. I am not sensitive to motion sickness, so I am greatly looking forward to it. And I haven't been able to do it in over a year. Yay! I'm super excited. They have amazing theming. And then the different points. And of course, Gryffindor is in the lead. Dumbledore's office.
Right, let's get down to the match.
And the paintings move.
Big Quidditch match today. What a crowd!
And now the founders get to argue with each other. That's Slytherin.
Abide by the seat of his pants is more like
But you all rather satisfied. It was love that saved young Harry, not
Hufflepuff. Helga. Godric's up there. And Rowena. Feel a little bit better, Godric. And they're all wearing or holding their items. She's got the diadem. He has the locket around his neck. She has her cup. And he has the sword.
Watch. I'll wager young Mr. Potter and Gryffindor beat Slytherin today.
Gryffindor doesn't stand a chance, Rowena.
Honestly, all of you. Me. Guests.
Was founded over 1,000 years ago by the four greatest witches and wizards of the age. As many of you may know, Hogwarts is one of the schools where young people of the wizarding world come to study magic. I should warn you, things can be a little unpredictable here. During your visit, you may encounter all manner of things not common to your own world. Ghosts, house elves, giants, and as of this morning, dragons. But I said
I'm something to get to these visitors before they get stuck in Bill's lecture. If Bill sees us, we'll be on the next train home. What's your suggestion?
Keep it down, you two. This will work fine if you stop bickering. Excuse me, we thought some of you might be looking for a way to escape Professor Bin's lecture. If you're not, you're meant to.
Not that the subject isn't fascinating. Personally, I'd recommend Bathilda Bagshot's Hogwarts History.
No one else has read that book, Hermione.
For your information, it happens to be, by general consensus, the definitive volume on Hogwarts.
Also, it's to be dead boring.
As is Professor Binns. Very boring.
How exceptionally dead. He's a ghost. Fell asleep in front of a classroom fire. Woke up the next day to teach and left his body behind.
He's still very sound on history, though.
And as an added bonus, he can enter the classroom through the blackboard.
Anyway, we thought you might rather watch again.
I love Don French. Sorting hat. Yay. There it is, the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and Misery. That is very nice rock work. And of course, inside is the ride that we just did. And for the first time in a year, I was able to ride it, and I fit in the seat. Just barely, but I did it. So yay, exciting. And Josh rode it and did not get sick. He's only ridden it 2 times ever. And both times, the first time he got a little ill, and the second time he had to close his eyes for the last 45 seconds because he was just trying to hold on and not throw up. This time, he's like, nope, I just focused on the screen in front of me, and rather than looking at all the things around, and he said he made it out just fine. So yay. Not only is this whole trip to Universal something we weren't expecting on this trip, but we definitely weren't expecting to be able to ride this ride together, both of us. So this is an awesome day of surprises, pleasant surprises. Another view of the castle from the bridge. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Forced perspective, of course, but that looks amazing. So now we leave the totally unbelievable world of Harry Potter and enter the perfectly believable world of Jurassic Park.
Fantasy versus science.
Exactly.
Fiction.
It's science, everybody. Science.
Cloning.
We were thinking about riding the Velocicoaster, but it's listed as delay wait time, so I don't think it's open. We did ride it during preview, so it's not like we've never ridden it. And if we don't today, then that'll be fine. But I would like to have while we're here. Anyway, we will continue on through Jurassic Park and around. We want to get to Marvel Island. Islands of Adventure is made up of a different number of islands, even though none of them are actually islands. That's what they're called. And we want to get to Marvel Island because we want to do the Spiderman ride. Because Josh and I are both comic book geeks.
And it's a good ride.
And it's a fun ride too. It's one of the typical rides at Universal. If you've seen some of my Universal vlogs, you'll know that one thing I don't like about Universal is there's too many motion simulator rides. And Spider-Man is an example of it. You get in a vehicle, you go to a screen, stuff happens on the screen. The vehicle goes to another screen, stuff happens on the screen, and so on and so forth. It's not a ride so much as a movie that's happening around you. And there's too many of those. Now, you know, that can be done well. We think Spider-Man's done better than some of the others. But Transformers is like that. The Fast and Furious is like that, except rather than being in front of you, the screens are on the side. Kong is like that. So there's just a lot here that are like that. So, and I'm not saying Disney doesn't have some that are like that. Absolutely they do. But it's not like a whole park full of them.
And they try to ramp it up with more.
And yeah, usually it's a little more plus than that. Like Pandora is a motion simulator ride, but oh my god, it is top of the art, state of the art motion simulator ride. And so these ones definitely showing their datedness. Anyway, that's not to say it's not fun. Come here, ride the rides, enjoy the fun, and you know, try not to think about it too hard. This is one of the Jurassic Park rides. It is a water ride, and very much like Splash Mountain, it comes down into a big splash. And the warning is you will get wet. We've never ridden any of these here because we don't generally like being wet. That is a lot of splash. Ooh, that mist in the air it made felt really good. And there's another water ride here. Somebody's Rip Roaring Falls. And you can see kind of up there, there's Dudley Do-Rights. Actually, I think it's Dudley Do-Rights Rip Roarin' Falls or something like that, because it's based on that. But that actually looks refreshing. It's kind of hot today, but again, I don't want to be wet all day. We have another park to go to after this, and I don't feel like I would ever dry out, and I don't want wet shoes. Those will give me blisters. That water ride is part of another island, quote unquote, called, I think, Comic Strip Alley. It's based on old comic strips from the Sunday Funnies. So you may recognize some of these if you're old like I am, because I did read the Sunday Funnies pretty much every week when I was growing up. So you have things like Gasoline Alley, that was one of the comic strips. Popeye's another one. There's Wimpy's, they serve burgers over there. Beetle Bailey was one of my favorites. I actually had a little like book of Beetle Bailey comic strips. And Blondie's, of course, it's a sandwich shop because her husband, Dagwood, eats very big sandwiches. Prince Valiant's over there. I never really read that one because it was kind of wordy and more of a serious comic strip, not comedy like I wanted when I was a kid. I love all these different dogs from different comic strips. And of course, Betty Boop and Kathy. I didn't really get Kathy when I was a kid because I think you have to sort of be an adult and often be a lady to really understand it, but I still occasionally would find it funny. And what else do they have over here? Oh, Popeye and Olive Oil are meeting and greeting. They're so cute. There was also a witch in the Sunday Funnies. Her name was Mary Worth, but this is Broomhilda up there. If you're as old as I am, that is a hysterically funny joke. If you understand that joke, please comment below. Look, it's Captain America.
A little bit of Nightcrawler love there, all right. That's rare.
He's commenting on Josh's Nightcrawler shirt that he's wearing today. Joshua's, let me see your shirt, Josh. There we go. Not thinking that we would be coming to Universal, I didn't bring any of my Universal stuff that I would normally bring. Like, I don't have any of my Harry Potter shirts that I would usually wear. I don't have my Harry Potter mask that I would have brought with me. So I'm doing what Josh and I like to call, I'm doing it wrong. I'm wearing a Disney shirt in Universal. And, you know, when people are in Disney and they're wearing Universal stuff, we always say they're doing it wrong. As a joke, you know, you wear what's comfortable. It doesn't matter. You're probably on vacation in both places if you've come down here. So it really is just a joke. But today, I'm doing it wrong. Next ride is the Hulk, which I have never done before. Because one time I went through, but I had my cell phone and they wouldn't let me through, but I didn't go back on because all my friends were already up there. And more recently, I didn't fit very well in the seats. So, but I do now, so let's check it out. I forgot to mention earlier that we did not ride Spider-Man because while we were standing in line, it went down. And we waited quite a while and then eventually left. And then as soon as we left, of course, it came back up, but we were already out of the queue, so we headed to the Hulk instead. So now that I've ridden the Hulk, oh, it's awesome. It's a great, great, great roller coaster.
You've done Spider-Man before.
Yeah, and I've done Spider-Man before, so I'm glad that we did the Hulk instead of Spider-Man this time. Spider-Man will always be there. Hulk is a roller coaster. It's always going to win as being a better ride. We stopped in Dr. Seuss's Landing to get some buffalo chicken tater tots. We had some buffalo chicken tater tots in Magic Kingdom yesterday. We're gonna taste these and compare them. These look a lot better. I mean, the ones in Magic Kingdom are fine, don't get me wrong. These look amazing. We're still eating, but both Josh and I agree that this is definitely better than the one at the Friar's Nook at Disney. This feels like the Friar's Nook is good, but they just kind of take the tater tots and pile stuff on there. Here it's piled on, and then I think they bake it. So it's actually kind of cooked in there. And oh my gosh, it's big pieces of chicken, yeah. Crispy potato barrels, Nothing soggy.
Cheese
delicious.
all on top of it.
Yeah, the cheese is all melty. We were at the, well, you can't see it from here.
Green eggs and ham.
This is green eggs and ham, where they do actually serve green eggs and ham on potato barrels if you want to. But we decided on the buffalo chicken. They also had a pizza one, and the green eggs and ham, and a brisket one too. How much was this, Josh?
$10.
No, $10 for all that? That's really good.
This is the soda's separate. I'm talking about the food.
It was $10 at Disney too, so that's all the same. I don't know if you can see this, but it started to rain here. And it's not coming down hard, but it's definitely coming down a little bit. Occasionally the wind blows and blows it on us. We're underneath an umbrella right now. That's where we were eating. I grabbed it for the shade, and then the sun went away behind clouds, and then all of a sudden it started to rain. It was expected to rain every day that we are here for this trip, and so far it's 2 for 2. Yesterday it started to rain, and then rained for several hours, but it was just kind of a light rain. Not even so much that we pulled out our umbrella even once. I enjoy that kind of rain. This is, again, that kind of light rain, and it's coming down still, but it's only been like 5 minutes, so we'll wait here for a little while, and if we need to, we'll make it over to the Hogwarts Express, which was our plan to get over to the other park. Oh, it's starting to rain a little more, and our umbrellas collecting some on the top, and then it'll come down in like splashes. Whew. Made it through the rain to the Hogwarts Express, and we're just waiting for it to come in so we can take it over to Universal Studios Orlando and get away from Islands of Adventure, which has been pretty fun here. We did the 3 H's. We realized it was Hagrid's, Hogwarts, and Hulk, and now we're gonna head over to the other park. You've arrived.
Wait, how about this one?
It's occupied, Harry.
Looks like a bunch of fursuits.
Let's keep looking.
Sorry about that crappy video. It was just a second ago on the ride. I was trying to film it sort of from my knee level, so I wasn't disturbing anyone around us. They were packing them in, essentially 8 people in each car. So, hey, pandemic be damned, I suppose. We made sure to wear our masks the whole time, but they were not social distancing at all. Anyway, I have other videos where we've been here where you can see better video of that, but that's what it's like. Each way you go on the Express has different things happen. There's stuff that happens on the screen that looks like a window outside, and there's stuff that happens on the interior. It's mostly just like shadows and stuff, but there's a voice for Hermione, Ron, and Harry. The ones for Ron and Harry, yeah, I don't think it's really them. But the ones for Ron and Harry are pretty good. The Hermione voice, terrible. Doesn't sound anything like Emma Watson. Anyway, it's fun. I enjoy using the Hogwarts Express. The best way to get between both parks. That is going to do it for us from Universal Studios. It was only half a day, kind of like half of a day. We're gonna go back to the room, and then we're going to head to Epcot tonight, so keep an eye out for that video. Thanks for joining us on our journey through Universal today.